Hi, so this is part 2. Make sure that you saw part 1 before you see this. Going back to checkpoint number 3, the answer that we got, notice that they are even, yet it asks you for odd integers. There's going to be problems where that's not going to happen because it's supposed to be odd, but these are even though we did the correct thing. Again, this would have been the even integers. So, like I said, problems that you will work on won't have that discrepancy. So continuing with example 7, we're finding 3 consecutive integers. So that means we got the first, we got the second, and the third. And since they're consecutive integers, they will be x, x plus 1, and x plus 2. And the sum, so they say that such that the sum of the first and third is 40. So I know you will be used to adding up all the integers and setting it equal to whatever number they give you, but you need to pay attention to what they're asking you. They said the first and the third, the sum of the first and the third is 40. So you're only adding up the first and the third numbers, so x plus 2, and setting it equal to 40. Don't fall into the trap of adding all of these numbers and then getting the numbers. Give me all the numbers. Give me what they ask you for. So then you would add these two, use your property of equality, subtract 2 on both sides, bring down the 2x, get 38, and then you divide, and then you will get 19 for x. You're not done because you need to plug this in. So your first number is 19, your second is 20, and your next is 21. So like I said, pay attention to what they're asking you for. You read first, you read twice. You read the first time just to get the gist of what's going on. The second time, pick the information that they give you and find out what they're asking you to do. All right, let's go on to the next one. Find 4 consecutive integers. So you basically in one after another. So I'm going to do my let statement. So first, second, third, and fourth. I'm starting off with x. That is x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, because it's consecutive. And the sum, they say such that the sum of the second and fourth, so I'm going to use my green, so second and fourth, so we're looking at the second number and the fourth, is 32. So x plus 1 plus x plus 3 equals 132. Again, you combine your like terms, use your property of properties of equality. So you subtract 4 on both sides. Subtracting 4 on both sides, and then you'll get 128. And divide by 2. And then this would be 64. Go back up here and start plugging in to find the numbers. The thing is, too, even though you only use the second and the fourth number to find your x, you need to give me, at the end, as your final result, you have to give me all 4 answers. So then this is 64, this is 65, 66, and 67. Okay, and show that. And I don't think I did that for the other one. Oh, yeah, I did. All right, so we're all good. All right, so the next one, we'll read it first. It says find 2 consecutive integers such that 4 times the larger is 29 more than 3 times the smaller. Sounds like a mouthful, but we read it once. Let's go back again. So we need 2 consecutive odd. So my first and my second. So my first number, we start off with x. Odd integers, then it's x plus 2. Not x plus 1, x plus 2. All right, so we got that. And now they say such that 4 times the larger. So then this one will be 4 times the larger. is, that's equal 23 more than 3 times the smaller. So 3 times the smaller, so 3 times the smaller. So plus is more than 29. Alright, so that's just to set it up, and I'm going to move that out of the way because I need to put my answers there once I find x. So now this portion is equal to this portion based on what they said. 4 times the larger, we know this is going to be the larger because that's the next number when you go and count in by odds, is 29 more than 3 times the smaller. This is the smaller, and you add 29 to it. Distributive property, and then you put your variables on one side and your coefficients on the other. So this will be subtracted on both sides, 3x. And then you get x plus 8 equals 29. And then you put the 8 by subtracting it on both sides. And then you'll get 21. So that x equals 21. So you go back up to here, not this. This is what's to set up the equation. You go back to what your let statement was, and then this would be 21, and then this will be 23. And you got your odd. That's your answer. Your odd numbers. It said, pay attention to what they're asking you for, what they gave you, and what they're asking you for. Read twice. First time to get the gist of what's going on, and second time to pick out the information. Right. Find 3 consecutive integers such as twice the smallest is 12 more than the largest. So we've got 3 numbers to our let statement. So let the first be x, the second, since it's consecutive, x plus 1, and the third be x plus 2. So now when we set it up, it says such that twice the smallest, this is the smallest, so twice the smallest is, twice means multiply, twice 2 times the smallest is equal 12 more, so we know we're adding the largest. This is the largest one, so I'm going to put x plus 2. Combine your like terms. You're going to put your variables together, so you subtract x on both sides, you get x, and then it's equal to 14. We're not done because we need to find what the 3 numbers are. So we got 14, 15, 16. All right. Move on to the next slide. Find 2 consecutive even, so 2 consecutive even integers such that twice the smaller is 26 less than 3 times the larger. So let's do our let statement. So we got our first, we got our second, we got our third. So our first is x, even. Since we're doing even, so the next one will be x plus 2. The next will be, third will be x plus 4. Alright, so we got our let statement. Now it says such that twice the smaller, this is the smaller, so twice the smaller is means equal, less than is minus 3 times the larger. So times is multiply. So twice the smaller, which we have, is equals 26 less than. Remember, 26 less than something. So that means you're taking 26 out of something that already exists. So this should come in second. So 3 times the larger, this is the larger, so 3 times the whole larger, which is x plus 4 in parentheses, minus 26. Now you can solve, start with the distributive property. Remember, PEMDAS deal with the parentheses. So you got, 3x for that one. Uh, 3x, and then 12 minus 26. Then you're going to combine like terms. So this one will give you 14, negative 14. Then bring your variables together. So this one you do by subtracting 3x on both sides. So you're going to get negative x, and then you get negative 14. And since you have that invisible 1, so you're dividing by negative 1 on both sides, and you're getting 14. Now you can plug that back because we need to know what the 3 consecutive, oops, look what I just did. I did 3 numbers. That can happen. I'm so used to doing where it says 3, it says 2, and I circled it, and I put 2. So, even though I did the right procedure, I did the larger, I should have chose the other one. So what I'm going to do, sorry about that. So that means my answers will change. So let me just erase what needs to be erased. This one, I didn't need the third number. I know if you're looking at this like, wait a minute, it says 2. Yeah. Gotta slow it down. So let's put it as, that's 2. So this is the larger, 3 times the larger. So then this will come out to 6. When I subtract that, that'll be negative 20. That cancels. I did that. So now 20, and x will equal 20. All right. So get that, and then we add this one, 22. Gotta be careful. Even I have to be careful too. So 20 and 22. All right, next one. Find 3 consecutive integers. All right, let's pay attention. So it's first, second, now third. And then it's consecutive integers, so x plus 1, x plus 2. Such that the sum of the first 2 is 24 more than the third. So the first 2, the sum of the first 2, so that means this first and the second, x plus 1, the sum means add, is 24 more than the third. So that means 2 plus is 2 plus this whole expression. So x plus 2 plus 24. Combine your like terms, plus 26, and then bring the variables to one side. So by subtracting, and then bring the coefficient to the other side. So I'll do that by subtracting. And I'll get 25 for x. And I plug it back in because I need to find out what the 3 numbers are that are going in consecutive order. So 25, 26, and 27. And then I move that. Okay, the next one. Find 3 consecutive integers such that the sum of the smallest and twice the second is 20 more than the third. All right, let's start off with our let statement. We have 3 numbers that we have to find. They are consecutive, so it's x plus 1, x plus 2. Now, I need to set up the equation such that the sum of the smallest and twice the second is 20 more than the third. So the sum of the smallest and twice the second, so the sum, x plus twice the second, so this is the second, so 2 times the whole expression, is 20 more, that's mean 20 plus 20 more than the third, which is x plus 2. Right? Distributive property, and of course I'm going to combine my like terms on the other side. So I got 22 for this. Combine here, 3x plus 2 plus x plus 22. Put my variables together by subtracting. And then bring my 2 to the other side by subtracting. Extend this. This cancels. 20, and then divide 2 on both sides. So that will give me 10. Done with that. Now I have to plug it in to get my numbers. So this would be 10, 11, and 12. Box that. Those are my 3 consecutive integers. Right, we have a few more. So I'm going to find 4 consecutive odd integers such that the sum of the first 3 exceeds the fourth by 18. Alright, so the first 3 exceeds the fourth by 18. Let's do our first let statement. So consecutive odd, so it's x, not x plus 1, x plus 3, x plus 5, it's x plus 2, x plus 4, x plus 6. Okay, now they say such that the sum of the first 3, so the sum of the first 3, add in the first 3, exceeds the fourth by 18. So the fourth by 18. So now exceed means add in. So now we combine our like terms. 24, and put the variables together. We're going to subtract that. That's 2x plus 6 equals 24. And subtract 6 on both sides. Extend this. 22. And then this one will be 18. Divide, and x equals 9. So now we plug that back in here. We got 9, 11, 13, and then 15. And then I'll just box that all up, or circle, or whatever I'm doing. And there's our answer. So anytime we see this exceeds, exceed means to increase, to go ahead, to add on, so that's plus. And there's always like an equal sign. So when they tell you the first part and then exceed, then you got the second part. So exceeds means that's going to be added by, this is added by the fourth, and you're going to have an equal sign. Alright, so we have 3 questions based on what we've done. So I would say it's more of like an investigation section. So the first one says, can the sum of 3 consecutive integers be even? So this is where you would just choose numbers, but they have to be 3 consecutive integers. So since I don't want to use big numbers, I'm going to start off with 1, 2, and 3. So let's do this. So I have 1 plus 2 plus 3. So when I add that, it gives me 6. Okay, yeah, that works. I mean, I can give other examples. If I do 2 plus 3 plus 4, so when I add that, it gives me 9. So that doesn't work out. So no, I'm going to check this one. Let me do another one. Let me start with 3 plus 4 plus 5. So when I add that, it gives me 12, and it's even. All right. So yes, we can find 3 consecutive integers that will be even, because I showed it. So now it says, can a sum of 3 consecutive integers be odd? Give examples. Well, I did this up here, so I'm going to copy that, and it did give me an odd number. I'm going to try another one. Instead of trying 3, I'm going to go with 4 plus 5 plus 6, and that will give me 15. And that's odd? Yes, it is. All right, so yeah, there are 3 consecutive integers that will give me an odd number. Now, they say, when is the sum of 3 consecutive integers even, and when is it odd? Let's look back to what we just did in the first 2 problems. Let's see, what do we notice? Maybe you might be able to notice it too. So the ones that worked, so this and this, what do you notice about the numbers? See, 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd. So I'm going to put odd, even, odd. For this one's odd, this is even, and this is odd. And then let's look at number 2. We've got an even, odd, even. This one's even, odd, even. Alright, so I think I know what I would like to say. So when is the sum of 3 consecutive integers even, and when is it odd? The sum is even when you have, so the sum is even, make sure I got that, the sum is even when you have 2 odds and 1 even number. The sum is odd when you have 2 evens and 1 odd number. So based on the examples that we showed, we come to a conclusion that when you have 2 odd numbers and 1 even, your sum will be even, and when you have 2 evens and 1 odd, your sum will be odd. So that's just a little tip in case if you're doing the consecutive numbers, consecutive numbers, you'll figure out, okay, what your answer will come out to be based on what's given. I know this works for 3 numbers. You could try that to see what happens when you have 4 numbers, you add 4 consecutive numbers, 5, what the results will be. So, like I said, this was a little investigation activity. Yeah. Alright, so again, as a recap, because we are at the end, I just want to make sure, yep, we're at the end. So we're dealing with consecutive numbers. I go all the way to the beginning. I know this we did in part 1. So basically, integers, we know integers are numbers from negative infinity all the way to positive infinity. That's -2, 3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and so forth, like those numbers, whole numbers. Consecutive integers are integers that follow each other. You know, consecutive means one after the other, next to each other. And when it comes to just integers, consecutive integers, your first will be x, your next will be x plus 1, the next will be x plus 2, x plus 3, and so forth. When you have even and odd, your first integer is x, your next one will be x plus 2, x plus 4, x plus 6, and so forth. Don't get confused when put x plus 1, x plus 3, x plus 5. It doesn't work that way. Because if you did that, then let's say your first number was 5, and then you did x plus 1 is 6, and x plus 3, you would have 8. So then your numbers would be 5, 6, 8. That's not consecutive, and plus it wouldn't be odd numbers, because your 6 is in there, and it's even, and it's right after 5. So be careful. That's why when we did this, how far is the next even or odd integer? 2. So that's why we have that x plus 2, and then we do x plus 4, x plus 6, and so forth. So be careful with that. So again, it's a matter of setting up, read the problem first, and then put all the information you need. Don't forget to put your let statement, because you need to use that. Once you find your x, then you plug it back in to get your numbers. If they're asking you for all the numbers, which the majority of the time they do, give all the integers. But know how to set it up based on what they give you. Just don't, like for example, If you're only going to focus on actually only two of the numbers that they gave you, two of the expressions, use that. Don't use the whole thing and then expect to get the right answer. All right, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'll provide you with more examples and clarification. And this concludes our lesson, and have a good day.